Hey guys, we are the Dorkeries. I am doing a solo day today at Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. Flower and Garden is known for two things. It's known for its food and it's known for its topiaries. And I've done all the food that I wanted to try with Drew, but today I just wanted to have a peaceful weekday morning. I'm gonna take a stroll and check out all the topiaries. I've seen some of them, but I haven't made it a point just to walk through and check them all out. Today, I wanna knock them all off my list. I wanna see all that there is to see of the flower and garden part of Flower and Garden Festival. So come hang with me, it's gonna be a fun day. Moana, Maui, Pua, and Ahehe. These are some that we've seen already. You can't help but see them because they are directly in front of the gate where you scan in, and they are directly in front of Spaceship Earth. It's not always easy to get a really good look at them because there are a lot of people here getting their first picture of the day. So I'm gonna take a minute since it's the whole reason we are here today. And I think one of the things I'm noticing for the first time are the details of their tattoos that they have outlined with some kind of growing ivy. I'm not gonna narrate all of the plants today, but I might possibly doing some Google image searches because I like to know what everything is. It's the point of Flower and Garden, right? A few minutes without people taking pictures to get a good view for you guys. These are not characters, but they are out just for the festival. All the little succulents filling in the center of the flowers. And we take for granted, I take for granted sometimes, that Epcot is just the place to come to see beautiful plants, to see bright colors. But I learned after moving here last year that as soon as the festival is over, some of these things that we just think are here all the time, for example, the floating flower baskets, they'll be gone after Flower and Garden. The flower quilts, that's just a Flower and Garden thing. That's not an Epcot thing like throughout the year. So as soon as Flower and Garden is over, this will be back just to a solid green probably. And then the bright spring colors will be. So I don't want to take it for granted. I want to get as much of it as I can get. We are 7 weeks into Flower and Garden Festival. There are about 5 weeks left. It makes me sad that we're on the lesser side of those weeks, which means I really needed to get this done today. Wish, she's beautiful. Her topiary is beautiful. Her little goat, adorable. She does a meet and greet over at the entrance of World Showcase. But I think I like the garden around her even better than I like the topiary. Just like the flower topiaries with the succulents, there are many butterfly topiaries and they all have different flowers on the inside. They're not all the same just because they're butterflies, they're all different. For example, here is a butterfly filled with impatience. I have commented on Woody and Bo Peep and her sheep before. They are adorable. They're little spider plants coming out of the sheep heads. But why did I not notice that they used building blocks as planters? That is amazing. That was perfect timing. Rafiki, Simba, Mufasa, And the monorail going on in the background. I don't know that I've ever been here early enough to catch the gardeners out watering the flowers, but they are taking care of the beautiful butterfly and flower quilt. Someone needs to make this a piece of clothing for sale. A shirt, a t-shirt, a sweater, something. Butterfly quilt at Epcot. Phineas and Ferb. In the center of the bridge that connects World Celebration to World Showcase, PhotoPass photographer taking pictures of one of the most popular, Mickey, Minnie, Chip and Dale. Look, you've got Pluto's bone even here. Flying a kite. Look at the pineapples growing at the Hibiscus Sunset Scentsy fragrance. I'm guessing there's some pineapple in that fragrance. A little bit. Tart hibiscus and citric pineapple blend together in this tropical aroma.
Is that one?
Just one.
How's your day going so far?
Wonderful.
I'm hoping this delicious corn makes it.
I've had it before. I don't know how you can go wrong with grilled corn.
Really good.
It's really good.
Really good.
Thank you, Kurt.
Just enjoy.
Now we just need a spot in the shade. Look at this. I caught two at one time, a bee and a butterfly. Pollinator. I think this butterfly escaped from the butterfly garden.
Push it one hand up, let me see it. Very good. Now,
All right, so maybe the butter and the cheese is a little bit fattening, but the rest is all vegetable.
very good, my
And I caught a little picnic table
We're gonna sing together as a group. Before that,
in the communicore area, and they're gonna sing
everyone, let's
We Don't Talk About Bruno. Flower and Bambi and Thumper. I saw that Thumper was out this week for Easter. That's pretty fun. I've never seen a meet and greet with Thumper. Canada doesn't have character topiaries, but they have these beautiful bird topiaries and my popcorn. So this was my first stop in World Showcase. A little yummy snack for today for my walk around the world. If he doesn't propose right now, what is he doing with his life? No, he's just taking pictures. Just before you enter the UK pavilion, we have Peter, Captain Hook, and TikTok, the crocodile. I believe Peter Pan is my favorite Disney cartoon, but I also like all of the live action Peter Pan movies. I don't know, there's just something so childlike about it for me that hits home. Maybe it's because I saw Hook in the movie theater as a kid. I don't know. I love Peter Pan though. The UK pavilion scores big with a lot of characters. Tigger, Piglet, and Eeyore. Rabbit and Who. Silly old bear. Silly old bear. He's got his balloon and buckets of honey. Look at all of these buckets of honey they've already laid out for him. Who's not going hungry today? I don't believe I've ever seen these topiaries back here in the middle of the UK Pavilion, the Topiary Heritage Garden. Topiary gardening is the art of guiding living plants into ornate and sometimes even fantastical shapes. Found throughout the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, topiaries are an important part of the legacy of Disney horticulture and have been showcased in Disney parks since the opening of Disneyland. As you explore this garden, you'll find examples of 3 styles of topiary: freeform, standard, and shrub. We've got Mickey. I love this. They're teaching us about topiaries. Dating back hundreds of years, freeform topiary is the oldest version of this fascinating art. Using sharp, well-oiled garden shears, gardeners skillfully transform shrubs and trees into shapes like spheres or rectangles. This sign is talking about Walt Disney asking their landscape architect, Bill Evans, to replicate century-old topiaries he found in Europe. And Evans said, "Walt, that stuff takes 20 years." But he still took on the project, and he crafted a version of European topiaries in only 2 years. And with this achievement, the legacy of topiary in Disney theme parks began. Not super easy to narrate while I'm eating maple popcorn, but we're going to do it anyways. We have our standard topiaries. In standard topiary, a plant is grown to a designated height and then encouraged to form a round shape at the top. To many observers, this new shape resembles a whimsical tree. Are we meeting Winnie the Pooh back here today? And then they're giving us an example of their shrub topiaries. A single shrub topiary can take up to 10 years to produce. Forming the topiary around the sculpted metal frame, gardeners need to constantly clip, shear, and tie the plant in order to create these imaginative shapes. I also love these quotes from the Disney landscape architect, Bill Evans. He said, "A building doesn't yield to the breeze. I can see the life in the trees by the way they move." My goal today was to get here early at park open so I could enjoy the peacefulness of gardens without the hot temperatures and the crowds of people just trying to get to rides. And I think I accomplished my goal. Honestly, this wouldn't be a bad place to sit and enjoy a cup of coffee. I love the way that Peter Pan welcomes us into the UK Pavilion, and Tinkerbell waves us out as we head over to the France Pavilion. Tinkerbell and Peter Pan just kind of bookending the UK Pavilion for us.
I'll try to place her on my hands.
Just giving you a little glimpse of the peaceful morning stroll. Kind of entering our Parisian music ambiance. I don't know how much hotter or more crowded it's going to be today, but I wish I could freeze this exact moment in time. Old Faithful in the France Pavilion, Beauty and her Beast, and just to the side of them, Cogsworth and Lumiere. It's very romantic back here. I really had this feeling that I had been missing a lot of topiaries in my visits this season, but so far there's only been one thing that I had not yet seen. But my goal is that next year, when they put up topiaries and someone asks, have we ever had that one before? I can tell you whether or not it was here in 2025. I like the way they used the air plants to wrap around Miss Piggy's shoulders and arms like her little feather boa. That's pretty creative. I might have to take fault with the flowers in Kermit's baskets being fake. You couldn't make that a real planter? If you absolutely fall in love with Disney topiaries, like I do, you can take one home. The standing mouse is $61. This is an angel for $55. A little turtle, a little swan. That's nice. A piglet, his is even gonna have a curly tail when the vine covers it. Teddy bear, a doggy, a bunny rabbit, a heart, and a gator. You can get one that grows in a Mickey Mouse pants pot. $61, it's kind of steep. You better be able to get it home safely, but when you think about that swan that they were doing in the UK and you understand the metal structure that someone had to make to go under that, and then growing all of this moss to cover it, and they're even getting you started. Now it's just your job to keep the ivy growing around it. This is another one I have fallen in love with this year. I just think the art behind this one is just incredible. And the lighting on it at night, the way he fits just perfectly under the restaurant awning. It's beautiful. It's such a cool vibe how the music changes from one country to the next. And they're all kind of like jamming out in their own way. And I know what I'm getting at the American Pavilion. We're getting Tiana and her magnolia garden. Some of the magnolias, the real magnolias on the trees, are starting to open. I love how all the flowers in front of Tiana have this very Mardi Gras, New Orleans color scheme to them. It's fun. Taking in all the vibes and taking in all the jams. This is my Italian jam. Right, this is one I have not seen up close and personal this year. Lady and the Tramp. I'm so glad I came back here for this. Look at the way he's eyeing her. That's how Drew looks at me. Stopping in at the train station, the little train village as you enter the Germany Pavilion. They've got their flower and garden banners up and their little flowers planted as trees in the background. And here comes the train. This little building even has steam coming out of its chimney. One thing I noticed, and I realize this is a very dorky thing, but we are the dorkeries and we dork out about a lot of weird things, is the way that they plant regular sized flowers and regular sized shrubs in this little village. But if you live in the village, they're giant trees, giant floral trees growing. You just have to put yourself in their position. Look at that. That would normally be a weed to us, but to them, it's a huge tree. They might even call it woods. This one is a big deal at the Germany Pavilion because there are not many times that you can see all 7 dwarves. You can meet them usually at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, but even when you go to Snow White's restaurant, you get Dopey and you get Doc. But in the Germany Pavilion, you get all 7 dwarfs. You also get the cutest gnomes I've ever seen. Another of my favorites this year. And I'd be willing to bet these are here every year. Our cute pandas in the China Pavilion. And also jamming out to another music change in the background. I feel like she's staring into my soul. She's asking me if I'll let it go. I know this troll is not willing to let it go, and he stands right outside of Anna and Elsa's meet and greet just to prove it. This is one I can't remember. Are the flowers on the roof year long? Or is it just for Flower and Garden Festival? This might be the first topiary I have come across today where people aren't lined up to take pictures. Coco. That's a really good picture too though. Look, that Spaceship Earth right in the background. I love that. And he's welcoming you on your way to the Mexico Pavilion. Right at the entrance to World Showcase, you have the Encanto family with his wild hair. Look at that. I feel like I say this and talk about this every time I come to Epcot, and I know I've said it once already today, but when this is over in 5 weeks, the entire rest of the year, this little pond will sit here flowerless. No floating flowers, and they're so beautiful. Not only is Groot a really cool topiary, he jams out to the Guardians of the Galaxy playlist. In front of the Connections Eatery, they put Donald in charge of the community garden. He doesn't look happy about it. I'm not surprised. He's always falling into trouble with a little bee on his forehead. However, he's not alone because he put his nephews to work. Somehow I don't believe that they're getting very much work done, but at least they're pretending to help, right? I believe Figment is my last one, and then I can say I've seen all of them today. I've even seen the elephant in the UK Pavilion, and I've seen the stars in the American Pavilion. I learned a little bit about topiaries. I've seen all the topiaries today. I'm all finished and ready to head home. Truth is, I really miss Drew, and I want to go home and kiss his face. First time I've ever noticed that Maui and Moana are on a bed of sand, and that's really cute. If you enjoyed hanging out with me today at my favorite place, doing my favorite thing, thanks, and let me know, it's just what I wanted to do today, and I thought you might want to hang with me. But in the meantime, go dork yourself whatever you love doing. Maybe we'll be doing that tomorrow.